Hello, ladies and gentlemen. John Rodney Harland Hookie here, and in 2018 I posted a video supporting the legalisation of cannabis.
Hello. I like smoking pot.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was wrong. I was lost. I was sad. I was confused. And that situation was not aided by my daily use of cannabis. But I'm a new person now. I've found God. And I no longer think cannabis is good. No, I think it's downright evil. To me, it's the devil's lettuce. Which is why I now present to you my arguments for the continued prohibition of cannabis across Australia. Argument 1. Cannabis destroys brain cells, especially in young people. A 2012 study found that adolescent-onset cannabis users evidenced an average 8-point IQ decline from childhood to adulthood. 8 points in IQ, ladies and gentlemen. 8! That's not nothing. That's a future neuroscientist or marine biologist that this country is missing out on. Little Jimmy, who could have been something, instead chose to smoke cannabis daily, neglect his studies, and now he cannot get into university and become a productive member of society. Because that's just not cool to Jimmy, because he thinks cannabis is a great way to spend your life. Well, I don't think that's very cool, Jimmy. I wouldn't want Jimmy's life to be my children's life. Yes, I've got kids now, by the way. I'm a parent, so I'm a lot more conservative. I'm sure you wouldn't want this for your kids either. Let's keep this scourge from our most precious resource. Argument 2. Cannabis is addictive, and it's a gateway drug. A 2013 study found that cannabis use is consistent with a gateway hypothesis, and another study in 2001 found a neurobiological basis for a relationship between cannabis use and opiate abuse. So there you go, stoners. Your favourite argument shut down by science. Cannabis is unequivocally a gateway drug, and if you think you're just casually going to try a little cannabis cigarette like little Jimmy, 10 years later you're going to find yourself in an alley filleting a crack addict for another bag of heroin. It's a fact. Listen to science if you have any sense. Argument number 3. Cannabis damages short-term memory. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I did have a study I wanted to cite in support of this argument, but sadly, due to my past and chronic cannabis use, I cannot remember it. My short-term memory is pitifully, pitifully bad. Yet another tragedy caused by cannabis. Argument number 4. Cannabis causes road accidents. A study in 2009 found cannabis may acutely impair several driving-related skills. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to further demonstrate the dangers of consuming cannabis behind the wheel of a motor vehicle, I would like to now show you a video. Viewer discretion is advised. This nincompoop thought it would be a good idea to hop in the car and hit the bong, or whatever the hell you call it. And ladies and gentlemen, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is the steering wheel in front of him. He is in the driver's seat. He is irresponsibly endangering the lives of possibly our own children. Do you want this? Do you want this in our country? Happy for the Yanks to destroy their country. I want to keep Australia pure. Let's keep our kids safe. Look at this idiot. And his friend, his accomplice, seems to be complicit and almost encouraging the behaviour. This is disgraceful. This is utterly disgraceful. Argument number 5. Cannabis isn't medicinal. It damages the lungs. A 2016 study found that cannabis smoke causes similar symptoms to tobacco smoking. Chronic bronchitis. And produces similar large airway pathological features. Does this sound medicinal to you? Chronic bronchitis? Pathological? A lot of cannabis connoisseurs say, oh no, I need the cannabis. It's prescribed by my doctor. It helps me. Well, not according to science. So, put the cannabis away. Argument number 6. Cannabis creates poor artistic role models for our youth. In 1973, well-known reggae musician and cannabis enthusiast Robert Marley wrote, "I shot the sheriff." Is that the kind of role model we want for our young people? Someone who commits a horrible act of gun violence upon law enforcement? I don't want that for my children. And then Mr. Marley goes on to say, "I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. Well, Mr. Marley, I'm sorry, that is not an argument. That's like saying, I did steal Da Vinci's Mona Lisa, but I didn't steal Michelangelo's David. You still stole something. You committed a crime and you should pay the consequences. Then in 1994, a rap musician and another cannabis enthusiast, Calvin Cortazar Brodus Jr. wrote, I'm rolling down the street smoking endo, a street term for cannabis, and sipping on gin and juice. So not only was Mr. Brodus intoxicated with cannabis behind the wheel, he was also intoxicated with alcohol. And in the song, he seems somehow proud of it. You shouldn't be proud of putting other people's lives at risk, Mr. Brodus. There's nothing cool about that. You should be ashamed of yourself, Mr. Brodus. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to show that I don't just talk the talk, but I in fact walk the walk, I would like to now consume a cannabis cigarette, what is otherwise known as a joint, to show you just how damaging this drug is on a personal level, on a professional level, and on a societal level. Oh, God. That's Satan. Satan's in my lungs. Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm going to get chronic bronchitis. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, I am now intoxicated with tetrahydrocannabinol. It's entering my bloodstream via my lungs and has worked its way to my brain. And ladies and gentlemen, I do not like this feeling. Everything is a lot more enjoyable. I don't want to work. I don't want to be a productive member of society. I want to just play with a small puppy and listen to Jimi Hendrix music, ladies and gentlemen. This is dangerous. This is going to harm the next generation of productive citizens. And, oh, God, I do not like this. I think I'm getting what cannabis enthusiasts call paranoid. Oh, no. Oh, God. Jesus, forgive me. I should not be in this state. Oh, I'm going to pick my kids up. And I just said I shouldn't operate a motor vehicle. Oh, God. I will never consume that again. I will never consume it again. As long as I live, Lord, if you just forgive me and take this satanic chemical out of my holy body, because the body is a temple. I can't lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. That was an ordeal I would not wish on my worst enemy. But thankfully, through the power of prayer, I'm sober again, and I intend to remain so for the rest of my mortal life. I hope God forgives me for trying cannabis, but I think he'll see that my intention was pure, to show all of you, especially the precious youth, just how dangerous cannabis is and why it should remain a prohibited substance under Australian law. I'd now like to leave you with some parting wisdom. Hash is trash. You'll rot on pot. Only dopes smoke dope. So curb your herb, because you don't need weed. Thanks for watching. I'm headed to the golf course to play with a few Christian friends. Then I'll head to church for the third time today. And finally, I hope to consummate my wife and I's marriage before the eyes of the Lord. Stay safe. This message was brought to you by Small Town Alien. This was obviously a low-budget video that was shot on an iPhone, but that's the best I can do with the limitations that are placed upon me. It's difficult to be both an expert music producer and expert video creator because by spreading out your talents, you become less skilled in specific areas.